Preparations in high gear there in Miami. Just one day now until the first debates of the 2020 presidential campaign. 20 candidates over 2 nights detailing their positions, defending their records, and doing their best to stand out. And here we get our first look at the debate stage. Everything almost in place and ready to go. NBC News national correspondent Peter Alexander and NBC News road warrior Ali Vitali have both made their way to Miami. Ashley Parker, Washington Post White House reporter and MSNBC senior political analyst, joins me. And so does Eddie Glaude, chairman of the Center for African American Studies at Princeton University. He is also an MSNBC contributor. Mr. Alexander, I'll start with you there, sir. Set the scene for us.
Well, we'll set the scene. For one, it's 102-degree heat index, so the heat index is on. Certainly heat is on for these candidates as they break up into these 2 debate stages over the course of the next 2 nights. The bottom line is long-windedness is obviously the tradition of politicians. They're going to have to be brief in their remarks when they get here. Obviously, each answer just about 60 seconds, 30 seconds to follow up, 2 hours each night, 5 segments, 4 commercial breaks there. So really have to be pithy in their comments. Right now, the Democrats are, of course, converging on Miami. Some of them behind closed doors prepping for this big debate. Among those is Joe Biden, who's expected to come down here on Thursday, again exchanging fire with the president of the United States, where he's been trying to direct most of his attention. Biden's aides tell us that they anticipate other candidates will be looking for a breakout moment. They don't believe that they need one, so he's going to try to stay above the fray, in effect, to try to pivot, focus on President Trump, and try to deliver a positive message here. Elizabeth Warren, the front runner on the first night. She has an event later today, a town hall here in Miami. She's not the only one who's out on the trail today. Julian Castro is here. Delaney is here. We've got Jay Inslee, who's got another event. Beto O'Rourke today will be meeting with voters as well. So all of them, Craig, trying to get a head start to warm up for what for many of these candidates really will be their first opportunity to speak to a national audience on Wednesday and Thursday nights.
All right, Ali Vitali, let's turn to you here and let's talk about the aforementioned Senator Elizabeth Warren. You're covering her, and you've got this article that's up on NBCNews.com, and you talk about this new poll by the progressive group MoveOn, and it finds that the senator from Massachusetts is the first choice of that group's members, 38%. Bernie Sanders at 17% right now. Does that signal trouble for the Bernie Sanders camp?
It could. I mean, we've been seeing a lot of these polls recently where Elizabeth Warren has been surging, in some cases above Bernie Sanders. But a few things stood out to me in that poll. First, they had done that straw poll in December of 2018, and Elizabeth Warren only got single digits. Since then, in the last 6 months, she's been managed to coalesce more than 30 points of support in that poll, now making her the leader. That Bernie Sanders is in second isn't necessarily all that surprising to me, but it is notable that this is a group that endorsed him in 2016 against Hillary Clinton. It is a big progressive group that is, in theory, part of his base of support. And so it could show that Elizabeth Warren is beginning to inch into his territory. And eventually these two, their policy minds are pretty similar. They are friends. At a certain point, despite the fact that they don't really want to contrast with each other, they are going to be on a crash course to paint the difference for voters.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.